We're about 4 or 5 days removed from Duke Gonzaga right now, which a lot of people thought was one of the, if not the best games of the college basketball season. I don't know how many we're going to get that are going to be better than that. So talk me through some of your reactions, some of the ways that you feel about that. I don't think we've spoken on this pod since Duke UCLA. I'm sorry, Gonzaga UCLA either. So what are your takeaways from some of those events in Vegas?
Well, my takeaway is that Duke is the best defensive team in the country. And that's why they're ranked number one, because they did a terrific job defensively against Gonzaga. Look, Gonzaga is hard to stop. There's going to be some nights where you simply cannot stop the Zags because if they're hitting perimeter shots, then I don't know what you do over the course of 40 minutes. Duke just got out on them. Their length was so effective in that game, and that's how they dictated the game. They also did it via Paolo Banchero saying, I am the best player in this game. He made a resounding statement. And when they were up 3 at the half, I'm sitting in my hotel room and I'm thinking, man, I don't think Gonzaga played all that well. I mean, look, they couldn't hit a perimeter shot. I don't know if that's the best sign for Duke. Can Duke do this for 40 minutes against the Zags? And then they kept doing it. And the reason why they did it, Rob and T.O., is because Mark Williams has an everlasting impact on a game right now. And when he comes off, you have Theo John coming in. So they have they have no drop-off in their post-play. And I think that Wendell Moore has in fact taken the next step in his game. Jeremy Roach hits a big-time shot down the stretch. So for me, what stands out about Duke is we were concerned after the win over Kentucky. Well, can you beat them by packing it in and making them take perimeter shots? That certainly is the formula, and hope that they're off, and then hope that their defense is a little off kilter. But what I love about this Duke team is you could tell Mike Krzyzewski spent the whole summer on campus putting in a defense, because this group plays together on the defensive end, and that's why they are absolutely deserving of being the number one team in the country.
I think another big takeaway, guys, is Drew Timme struggles with big athletes, and he still ended up with good numbers. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at his line, 7 of 13, 5 boards, 5 assists, but he struggles to get out of the block sometimes in moments where they really needed him. So I think Mark Williams, to what you're saying, Fanta, the guy's incredible. His length is a game changer, and you sub in Theo John, who's just in there to mix it up. He's not going to score a ton of points. He's just going to go in there. He's going to be mean. He only played – how many minutes do you think he played?
I know how it's 12. He played 12
minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes, but they're hugely impactful. Yep. So that goes along to say neither team shot 31% from 3, which was telling to me. And those are two concerns that we've had coming into the season about both teams.
Right.
I will say this, they still scored 84 and 81 points, which is insane in its own right. Trevor Keels, I know we give Paolo Banchero a lot of credit. We give him a lot of credit. We give Chet Holmgren a lot of credit. The 3rd or 4th best freshman in the country might also be playing for Duke, and Trevor Keels. Like, that guy has been outstanding. I mean, he controls the pace. He plays point for him. Wendell Moore, like you said, has taken another step. Wendell Moore is who Wendell Moore I thought he was going to be last year. It's like he is completely taking control of the offense. He's completely taken control of the team, and he has turned into that defensive-minded point guard that, because he's adapting a different way of playing and attacking a defense, it's benefiting him because he's being a little bit more patient. He's just taking angles. And because he's so big and athletic at the guard position, what is he, 6'6", 210? Like, because he's so big and athletic, he's able to thrive with just being that second or third guy. And it showed.
You know what else it is? The game slowed down for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It did.
He's starting to figure out like what is happening on a basketball court. And we talked about this a little bit last night with Steve Perlman and Randolph Childress on After Dark, but it's nice to see guys that have kind of run their own race and done it at their own pace.
I love that saying.
Have success, right? Because here's a guy, like, how easy could it have been for him to be one of these guys that is a McDonald's All-American, that's a 5-star prospect that comes into Duke, that is not a one and done, and everything just kind of blows up from there. And we see him go the route of some of these other guys that just don't end up making it to the league. Well, I mean, he's going to make it to the league. He's going to play in the NBA. I don't know if he's a first-round pick. I don't know if he's a second-round pick. That dude's going to play in the NBA. He's going to make a bunch of money as a professional basketball player. I don't know if he would have said that necessarily after his freshman season. So nice to see someone that has stayed the course and understood that just because it takes you 3 years in college doesn't mean you can't end up being a great pro one day. Look at Chris Duarte. Chris Duarte was in college for like 6 years. Yeah, he's now the best, one of the best rookies in the NBA this year, and a guy that's going to make a ton of money playing pro ball. So,
can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing about this game? Duke had 23 points off turnovers against Gonzaga, just to kind of reemphasize what Fanta said about Duke's defense. They are incredible. Like their length, Mark Williams, and if you are able to get past those guards, Mark Williams is just sitting down there waiting on you.
Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway from this game is that Mark Williams is going to have the impact on Duke's defense that we all say Chet Holmgren is going to have on Gonzaga's defense.
Yeah.
Not 175 pounds. Now, he's not a guy that's going to space the floor. We saw what happened when he took that three and immediately got yanked by Coach K. But his ability to just be 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan and understand where he needs to be positionally is, I mean, it's elite at this point. I don't know what else you can say. Like, he's in the right spot. And I don't know if that's an extra year on campus. I don't know if that's having Coach K around, but I don't know if that's just who he is as a player. Maybe he just naturally understands where he's supposed to be, but he's always in the right spot. And when you have that rim protector, T.O., you know this, man. When you have that rim protector, because you got beat off the dribble a lot. So when you have that guy behind you, you feel a lot better about getting beat off the dribble than you would if you don't have that rim protector. So
that was well done. I'm not even going to come back. That was well done.
All right. So let's just.
Are we going to address Gonzaga? Are we going to?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's put a ball on this. Fanta, talk to me about Gonzaga. Are you concerned at all? Or is this just you play 3 top 5 teams? You're probably going to end up losing one of those games.
Yeah, I mean, entering Friday night's game, they had won 67 of their last 70 games. So as a program. So I'm not concerned at all. I didn't even think that they didn't play their A game. And Duke had a lot to do with that. But, no, I'm not concerned because I think that this is all good for this team. I think that Mark Few goes back in. It's good to lose. Like, it is good to lose some games.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we get into the thought of, perfect season unbeaten. It is so hard to put all that together. And I think that you schedule these games to potentially have a humbling night and to be able to go back to work. And I'm sure that's what they're in the process of doing. They played a close game, Tarleton State, but that's the after effects of having a very busy week. I think in Las Vegas, this team is excellent. This team could win it all, and they're going to have to. Like, I think in this game, to T.O.'s point, Drew Timme against that physical elite length. What do you do from a spacing perspective if you're Gonzaga to keep that from being a major issue in a game of that magnitude? So that's something that I'm monitoring. But I think that Rasir Bolden, I think that Julian Strother showed us, again, just the dimension that they provide and the difference that they can make. Like, when those guys are on for the Zags, good things are going to happen for this team, like championship level things. So I'm still convinced that the Zags absolutely can cut down the nets, and I would be downright shocked if they weren't one of the last 4 standing in America, because I think that Andrew Nembhard looks like the best point guard in the country at times. So this Gonzaga team is still in excellent shape, and I'm going to call this a good loss. I don't mind a loss at this stage of the season. In fact, I think it's better to lose in November than to be perfect in February.
My biggest concern was kind of exposed with this Gonzaga team, though. Do they have the physicality and the defensive toughness on their front line to be able to compete with the best teams in college basketball, all of whom have monsters this year, right? Like that's the thing about college basketball. The best teams have great bigs, whether it's Paolo and Mark Williams, whether it's Trevion and Zach Edey, whether it's Kofi Coburn, whether it's Hunter Dickinson, and for everything that Drew Timme does well, he's not a guy that is going to be great at kind of walling up and keeping a 6'10", 250-pound post player from getting position and getting to the shoulder he wants to get over, right? Chet Holmgren, great rim protector. Not somebody that you necessarily want defending in the post against some of these big bodies. There's going to be times when he's able to make a play just because of his length, but there's also going to be times where he gets put through the basket stanchion because he's just not there yet. And it just is. He's 180 pounds. It just is what it is. So they're very, very good. We're kind of picking nits when it comes to breaking them down like this.